Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kato still coming at you on YouTube with a uncharted territory, if you will. Week 18 NFL picks. What used to be the first round of the playoffs is now the last week of the regular season in Week 18. We're going to go through all the games. We're going to talk about the playoff scenario toward the end of the show. And of the 14 playoff spots, 11 of them have been snatched up. We'll talk about who's where and whatnot. Last week, great week. We went 12-4 last week. By far one of our best weeks of the season. Putting us on the season at 162, 91, and 1. So we got a couple games on Saturday night, and then the rest of the games on Sunday. Monday Night Football, no more. Done for the year, as is Thursday Night Football. So before I get started, just getting everything set up how I want it. Right out of the gate, monumental shout out to my guy, the Boston Sports Report. He shared my my channel on his channel. Also, he just hit 800 subs. Probably has more than 800 now, but huge shout out and congratulations to the Boston Sports Report. Absolutely love the guy. He's been a supporter of mine for quite some time. I mean, I'm just getting started on YouTube, but check out the Boston Sports Report. He's got his Week 18 picks up as well. Also does NHL, NBA picks, and he did mention he's got a video up thanking his 800 subscribers that after football season he will be doing MLB. I'm anxious to see that because that's going to be a lot to keep up with. But like I said, monumental shout out to the Boston Sports Report. We're going to get this video done tonight, and then I'm going to get down into where my PS5 is, and we're going to get some Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age videos up as well. Sorry I've been away the last couple of days. Work's been kind of crazy. My wife's birthday was today, so I wanted to kind of devote today to her and all that. But let's get into Week 18, excuse me. So we're going to kick things off with the 11-5 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 7-9 Denver Broncos. The Chiefs losing to the Bengals has dropped them out of the number 1 seed. They are now the number 2 seed. To get the number 1 seed, they have to win, which I do. I have Kansas City winning the game, and they also need Tennessee to lose. We'll get to Tennessee in a little bit, but I have the Chiefs winning the Broncos out of it, but they can play spoiler. If they can beat Denver. But Vic Fangio is 0-5 in his career against Kansas City. Numbers like that, it's hard to roll with the Broncos. I'm going Kansas City. Excuse me, all the way. Next up, the 11-5 Dallas Cowboys taking on the 9-7 Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas is in. Dallas has clinched the NFC East. They're definitely in. Philadelphia is in by clinching a playoff berth. So I think both of these teams are going to go at it, but I like Dallas. Philly is in no matter what. They probably won't get past the 7 seed. They're probably locked in as the 7 seed. But either way, I mean, they're going to go into the playoffs. Not that they can't beat Dallas. I just don't think it's going to happen. Give me Dallas all day. Next up, 10-6. We're moving on to Sunday now. 10-6 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 7-9 Cleveland Browns. Joe Burrow not going to play in this game. They're going to rest him. The Bengals are in the playoffs. They've clinched the AFC North. Excuse me. I still like Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati. Also, Joe Mixon from the Bengals tested positive for COVID-19. He will not play. They should have Mixon and Burrow back for the playoffs. But even with that being said, Baker Mayfield is not going to play. He's having some type of surgery. I'm assuming it's on his arm or his shoulder or something of that nature. So Baker is not going to be starting. Case Keenum gets the nod as starting quarterback. It still doesn't matter. I don't like him. I've never liked Case Keenum. Give me the Bengals all day. The Bengals can still clinch the number 1 seed. They're just going to need a lot of help. I don't see them getting it, but Cincinnati will at least host a wild card game, being a division winner. Next up, the 13-3 Green Bay Packers taking on the 13-1 Lions. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I initially was going to take the Lions, and here's why. Green Bay has locked up the number 1 seed. There's nothing that Green Bay can or cannot do that will drop them from the number 1 seed. The NFC playoffs will run through Lambeau Field. I know what you guys are thinking. There was a guy, I commented on the Boston Sports Report's video. And somebody had commented, oh, well, when Green Bay plays LA or Tampa Bay, they're done. Okay, you know what? Maybe so. But I recall beating LA in the regular season with Von Miller and OBJ. Ooh, we beat them, and we beat them handily. Haven't played the Buccaneers yet this year. Tampa Bay's limping. Not saying that Green Bay is going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that at all. I want them to. I mean, I've got to go with my team. But getting word that Aaron Rodgers and the other starters are going to be playing in the game makes me – I'm going to take the Packers. But it's a game that it's a game that Green Bay does not need. They don't need to win this game. But if the starters want to play, hats off to them. They have a bye next week. They'll host the highest seed remaining in the divisional round. But Lions have nothing to play for. They can't play spoiler, if you will. But at the end of the day, I'm a little worried about Green Bay playing their starters because as much as injuries have plagued Green Bay all year, I don't want to see anybody get hurt prior to the playoffs, being a meaningless game. But I've still got Green Bay winning since they're going to be playing their starters. Next up, 6-10 Chicago Bears taking on the 7-9 Minnesota Vikings. I do have the Vikings winning this game. Matt Nagy, reports have come out, Matt Nagy will not be back next year. They will fire him at the end of the year. Mike Zimmer, head coach of Minnesota, might be out the door as well. But the Vikings are at home. I'm giving it to Minnesota just because, like I said, both teams are terrible, but I'm going to give the edge to Minnesota. They're at home. Next up, 6-10 Washington football team taking on the 4-12 New York Giants. I have the football team winning this game. Also, first week of February, it was announced that the Washington football team will unveil their new logo, their new name. Kind of curious as to what that's going to be. And one of the freaking names that are in contention, guys, is the Washington football team. They're considering, I hope to God they don't do it. It should be Washington, but another surname. Don't call it Washington football. Give them an identity. Like I said, I do have Washington winning. Both teams are out of the playoff mix, but I feel Washington has the better team. Next up, we have the 9-7 Indianapolis Colts taking on the 2-14 Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm taking the Colts in this one. For the Colts, it's simple: win and they're in. They're in the playoff picture, if you will. But a win against Jacksonville will guarantee them a playoff spot. They'll clinch a playoff berth. Tennessee won the division, so there's no way they can win the division, but they can at least cement their name into the playoffs. Jaguars, it's been a wash of a year. Jacksonville's probably going to have the number one pick in the draft. Next year, they're going to have the number one pick. Travis Etienne, whatever his name is, Trevor Lawrence's running back from college that got hurt at the beginning of the year. He should be back full strength. Not saying Jacksonville's going to make a splash next year, but they should be better next year than they were this year. Not saying a whole lot because Jacksonville was god-awful this year. But good luck to Jacksonville as they stay home for the postseason. Next up, the 8-7-1 Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the 8-8 Baltimore Ravens. I've got Baltimore winning at home. Not going to lie, I kind of got a little emotional seeing Big Ben on the field Monday night against the Browns. A lot of rumors have come out that this will be Ben Roethlisberger's final game. He will retire at the end of the season. And honestly, I tip my hat to him. I don't have a hat on at the moment, but I tip my hat to him. He's had one hell of a career. He joins Tom Brady and Peyton Manning as the only quarterbacks to throw, I believe, over 60,000 yards and win 2 Super Bowls in that span as well. I'm pretty sure it was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I mean, he's in elite company. I mean, he's one of 3 quarterbacks to do it. But like I said, if this is Big Ben's last ride, he has nothing, absolutely nothing to hang his head on. He can ride off into the sunset. I never thought Ben was elite, but I thought Ben was damn good. The last few years of his career, it's been a little rocky, but I mean, that's age. The older you get, your skills deteriorate a little bit. And that's nothing against Ben. That's just, it's his age. He's been playing the game for 16, 17 years. It's going to catch up with you. That's just, the laws of, evolution. As you get older, you can't do the things you could do when you were younger. But I do have the Ravens winning. I think I do believe the Ravens are out. Maybe if they win, They can sneak in with some help, but other than that, I think Baltimore's toast. They're not going to be in the playoffs. I do have them winning because they're at home, but I don't think they're going to be in the playoffs whatsoever based on how the bracket or the seeding lays out. Next up, the 8-8 good Lord, I cannot talk. 8-8 New Orleans Saints taking on the 7-9 Atlanta Falcons. If the Saints win, which I have them winning the game, and I believe it is the 49ers lose, San Francisco's out, New Orleans is in. It's as simple as that. Atlanta already eliminated. So really, Atlanta, win or lose, they're out. But I do have the Saints winning. And as we'll talk about here in a little bit, I have the Saints sneaking into the playoffs as the 6th seed. So, well, again, we'll talk about playoff seedings here in just a little bit. Next up, we have the 4-12 New York Jets taking on the 10-6 Buffalo Bills. Lost my where I was at on my line. I've got the Bills winning this game handily. Buffalo's in the playoffs. A win or a Patriots loss will clinch the AFC East for Buffalo. So with me having Buffalo winning, Buffalo's going to have the AFC East. New England is already in. We'll talk about New England actually here in just a couple games, but I have Buffalo winning. Jets did better than I thought they would with 4 wins, but it's something to build on. Robert Saleh's not going anywhere. They'll bring him back. But the Jets are going to need some help in the offseason. We'll see what they can do. Next up, 9-7 San Francisco 49ers taking on the 12-4 LA Rams. I have the Rams winning this game. This kind of goes back to the Saints-Falcons game where I have the Saints winning. The Saints win coupled with a 49ers loss will eliminate San Francisco and put New Orleans in. I just think the Rams have too much firepower. I'm not saying the Rams aren't a great team. They are. Matt Stafford has had a career resurgence in LA, much better than he ever did in Detroit. So I don't blame Matt Stafford for riding high right now. Cooper Kupp, obviously Odell Beckham, Van Jefferson is emerging as a primary weapon as well. I've got the Rams winning all day. Next up, the 10-6 New England Patriots taking on the 8-8 Miami Dolphins. Kind of a trap game, if you will, for New England. New England is in no matter what. They've clinched a playoff berth. I have the Patriots winning. It seems that New England struggles with Miami. I'm not sure why. But at the level the Patriots are playing, and like I said, a New England win coupled with a Buffalo loss will give the AFC East to New England. So I mean, New England's got a lot to fight for and a lot to play for. So like I said, give me New England in that. I think it's I think the division to be wrapped up by the time that game comes to a close, but. I said, give me New England. Next up, 6-10 Seattle Seahawks taking on the 11-5 Arizona Cardinals. I should buy a bottle of champagne for the Arizona Cardinals for beating Dallas last week, which allowed Green Bay to win to clinch the number 1 seed. But the Seahawks, this is a lost season for them. I've got the Cardinals winning this game at home. This is another one that comes down to one thing with the Rams, if the Rams win, they clinch the NFC West. It was Arizona's division all year, and then Arizona hit that pothole in the middle of the season. I have Arizona winning, but like I said, I do believe it's going to be a little too late. Arizona is in the playoffs as of right now as a wild card, but we'll see what happens there. They split their, or did they? I know Arizona won the first game. Maybe the Rams won. I don't remember. I don't remember that far back, but I think it's the Rams division now. I mean, LA's in the driver's seat with it. Next up, 5-11 Carolina Panthers taking on the 12-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've got Tampa Bay winning this game outright. The Buccaneers are limping into the playoffs. Obviously, Chris Godwin out for the year. Mike Evans has had some hamstring issues. Leonard Fournette has had some hamstring issues. Antonio Brown is not even on the team anymore. He had some kind of a meltdown last week in the Jets game, which the Jets nearly beat Tampa Bay. But due to Antonio Brown basically, taking off his jersey, taking off his shirt, Bruce Arians is like, you know what? We're done. You're done. You're not on this team anymore. I think Tampa's going to make some noise in the playoffs, but I just feel – I don't want to say Tampa Bay's not a threat because they are, but Tampa's limping into the playoffs. They're not at full strength like they were last year. I still think the NFC title game is going to come down between Tampa Bay and Green Bay. But like I said, how it goes from there, it's anybody's guess. I think Green Bay is a better team than last year. I don't know. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. And the Sunday night game that was actually flexed to Sunday night, the 9-7 LA Chargers taking on the 9-7 Las Vegas Raiders. It's as simple as win and you're in. The winner advances to the playoffs. The loser does not. It's that simple. I've got the Chargers winning this game. So, yeah, and that's going to wrap that up. So, recapping, I've got Kansas City over Denver, Dallas over Philadelphia, Cincinnati over Cleveland, Green Bay over Detroit, Minnesota over Chicago, Washington over the Giants, Indianapolis over Jacksonville, Baltimore over Pittsburgh, Tennessee over Houston. I have New Orleans over Atlanta. I don't even think if I talked about the Titans and the Texans. I have the Titans winning that game outright. If the Titans win, they will clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC, meaning the road to the Super Bowl goes through Tennessee. I did skip that game. I have no idea why. But, yeah, I got the Titans. Also going to be getting Derrick Henry back for the playoffs. That's going to be monumental for them. But, so, yeah, Tennessee over Houston. New Orleans over Atlanta, Buffalo over the Jets, the Rams over San Francisco, New England over Miami, Arizona over Seattle, Tampa Bay over Carolina, and the LA Chargers over the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, let's turn our attention to the playoff picture through Week 17 over in the AFC. As of right now, the Tennessee Titans hold the number 1 seed. They've clinched the AFC South. With a win on Sunday, they will clinch the number 1 seed and home field advantage. Number 2 seed, Kansas City. They've clinched the AFC West. A win coupled with a Tennessee loss will give Kansas City the first round bye. 3 seed, Cincinnati. They've clinched the AFC North. Congratulations to Cincinnati. They've had a hell of a year. I couldn't be more proud of Cincinnati. As of right now, Buffalo is in the 4th spot. They have clinched a playoff berth. AFC East is still very much up in the air. If they win on Sunday, they will clinch the AFC East. Number 5, the New England Patriots. They've also clinched a playoff berth, and they can clinch the AFC East with a win coupled with a Buffalo loss. 6th seed, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Again, as simple as if Indy wins on Sunday, they're in. If not, then they won't be. And in the 7th seed is the LA Chargers. Again, they have not clinched anything. It's still very much up in the air, but it's very simple. They win, they're in. They lose, Las Vegas goes into the 7th seed. Over in the NFC, the only seeding that is absolutely clinched 100% is the number 1 seed occupied by the Green Bay Packers. They've clinched the NFC North, and they have home field advantage and throughout the entire NFC playoffs, meaning the road to Super Bowl 56 goes through Lambeau Field. Talked about this a little earlier. I know everybody just kind of snickers and they laugh, and that's fine. I get it. I've been a Packer fan since I was a kid. I've heard all sorts of crap. I know the last 2 years, Green Bay has choked in the NFC title game. Something feels different about this team this year. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I don't know. I've got Green Bay at least getting to the NFC title game. And the 2 seed is the LA Rams. They have clinched a playoff berth. Division is still up in the air. Number 3, Tampa Bay. They've clinched the NFC South. They are in no matter what. And they're going to be a viable threat in the NFC playoffs. Number 4, the Dallas Cowboys. The loss to the Cardinals dropped them from 2 to 4. They clinched the NFC East. And if they win, then they might rise up a little bit. But at the end of the day, Dallas could very easily stay at number 4. Being a division winner, they can go no lower than 4. Winning the division, they will host a playoff game. Number 5, the Arizona Cardinals. Much like the Rams, they are in the playoffs no matter what. I'm assuming if the Cardinals win and the Rams lose, Arizona wins the division, they'll shoot up to the 2 seed. But as of right now, they're in the 5 seed. Number 6, as of right now, the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners win. Then that is where they will probably stay. But I have them falling out. I have the Saints going into the number 6 seed after this week. And in number 7 is the Philadelphia Eagles, who have already clinched a spot. They are in no matter what. And as I said before, when it comes to the Eagles, they will probably go no higher than 7. They'll probably stay there. And then we'll see what happens. They'll either face LA, Tampa Bay, Dallas, or potentially Arizona. It just depends on how that all plays out. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section as we go into the season finale next week, guys. I will be back up here in my beautiful office with the wild card predictions. That won't be too long of a video because there will only be 6 games as opposed to 16. So anyway, gonna head downstairs. I'm going to get some Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age videos uploaded for you guys. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys so much, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.